Meanwhile, at Mihoyo Depot...
Welcome to Mihoyo Depot. How can I help you?
Yeah, I bought a plant from you guys, and it burned down my house.
Did you read the terms and conditions on the receipt?
It's a plant.
Yeah, well, they do that. I can either give you 25 mora or in-store credit. Which would you like?
It burned my house down.
Sir, I can only give you 25 mora or in-store credit. Which would you like?
25 mora? I mean, I guess I'll take a plant that won't burn my house down, if you have any.
Alright, sir, here you go. Thank you for shopping at Mihoyo Depot, and we hope to see you soon.
Oh, come on, what the fuck?
Ley lines, trees, and plant life are extremely important to Genshin Impact lore. Ley lines themselves are attributed to having created not only both Regisvines, but also the Eye of the Storm and all of the Hypostasis. The symbolism of trees is prevalent everywhere. The Adventurers Guild crest in Mondstadt details roots reaching and intertwining towards the sky. The logo on their sign at the headquarters shows a great tree underneath a city. Each nation also has a major tree. Mondstadt has the tree at Windrise, Liyue has a dragon-quelling tree, and Inazuma has a sacred Sakura. But what if I told you the roots of all these three intertwine underground and connect to one tree in the abyss? And what if I told you ley lines are the key to understanding it all? So, what are ley lines? And very quickly before we get into the video, I want to thank a fan who was in the Discord and suggested that I make a video on this concept. If you're not in the Discord, I highly recommend you check it out if you like Genshin lore, and if you want to get some of your suggestions on future videos heard, that is a great way to do it. And let's get back into the video. Ley lines are one of the things in the game that are introduced to you as a feature to obtain items or gold, and you just kind of forget about them. They aren't bound to any one nation as far as we know, and there's at least 2 in each nation at all times. By utilizing your resin, you can rejuvenate the ley line blossom and receive rewards. So, now that we know what they do, what exactly are they? The game says ley lines are branches from deep within the earth containing power. They come from a tree that used to spread roots all across the world. The stronger the branch itself, the stronger the energy it contains, to the point where the ley line sprouts are so powerful they even produce new leaves having been removed from their original root. The ley line blossoms are actually flowers called revelations. In response to an individual's desire for either battle or for wealth, they can actually spring up upon the ley lines that are within the earth of Teyvat, and when presented with resin of any kind, they can open and provide the traveler or the player or whoever the individual is with rewards. But one of the interesting things is the lines are referred to as branches. But they're underground, and generally speaking, a root is underground, not a branch. So the careful use of the word branch when referring to a ley line implies that these branches, so to say, actually converge at a main tree underground, like how we see in the sign in the Adventurers Guild. Now, with just the item descriptions of ley lines, we don't actually know if this tree comes from the abyss, but we have one piece of evidence that actually proves this fact, and that is the lore description of the prototype crescent. So in the item description of the prototype crescent, it states that the creator utilized Irminsul branches brought back from the abyss to craft the bow. So we know that the Irminsul branches come from the abyss, but what is this Irminsul tree and its branches? Well, if we read the original resin item description, it says the roots of all the Irminsul trees and blossoms in the world are intertwined at the deepest, most hidden place of the earth, the abyss, as we learn in the prototype crescent description, and that the pattern of the root system defines the ley lines of the world. So what it's saying is the Irminsul tree comes from the abyss, and its roots are what design the ley lines themselves. They sprout from the abyss, create a root system all over Teyvat, And because of the original energy of the Irminsul tree, they end up sprouting to form not only ley lines, but also the Irminsul trees you see when you complete a domain, and the large Irminsul trees that you see in Mondstadt, in Liyue, and in Inazuma. Now, the Irminsul trees all have a very clear identifiable blue streak as a description, and this is visible on the Sacred Sakura in Inazuma, it's visible on the Dragon Quelling tree in Liyue, and it's also visible on the Irminsul trees you see at the end of domains. It's also visible on the Frostbearing tree, although that's slightly different story, but that is confirmed to be an Irminsul tree. But you might have heard that I mentioned that the tree in Windrise is also an Irminsul tree, but this tree doesn't have any blue streaks, so why do I think that is an Irminsul tree? So the tree in Windrise is actually said to have been left behind after Vanessa ascended to Celestia. Very quickly, Vanessa was essentially a hero that was so powerful and acknowledged by the gods that she was one of the only people that we know of that ascended to Celestia. And if we remember how ley lines work, they acknowledge one's desire for battle or desire for wealth. They're capable of basically resonating with an individual that has great power. And because this tree was left behind after she ascended, it's my theory that she ascended to Celestia and a ley line blossom basically sprouted and caused this tree to grow out in response to, acknowledging her power. And this is a good theory, it could be true, but I think the fact that Venti has to go to the tree in the beginning of the game to kind of heal himself proves that the tree has like inner energy and it's capable of producing the energy that comes all the way down from the original Irminsul tree down in the abyss. Dainsleif is also extremely important when talking about Irminsul trees. It is my theory that Dainsleif was a guard for the Irminsul tree, which is now in the abyss, and he channels abyssal energy from it, as we saw at the end of We Will Be Reunited. Now, before your brain explodes, let me explain. When you look at Dainsleif, he glows with the same kind of blue streaks that are visible on these trees. It runs down his arm, onto his face, which I presume he's hiding with his mask, and it also goes down his neck and can be seen through his boot. On a side note, this effect only appears on the right side. But Dainsleif has the title of bowkeeper, and if you don't know, a bow is an archaic word for branch. Prior to the fall of Conria, Dainsleif was responsible as a royal guard. It's not said what he guarded, but with the title of bowkeeper, we figure he must have guarded a tree of some kind. Now it starts to make more sense, and we can speculate that the tree that he guarded was an Irminsul tree, and that's why he has these features on his body. It's likely, though, only a theory, but it seems that when you become a guard for this tree, you start resonating with it, and that's why he has these marks. Or perhaps he was involved in some sort of accident during the fall and destruction of Conria. And when he casts his abilities, these features begin to glow. And it's my theory that his element is really channeling the energy of the original Irminsul tree in the abyss, and perhaps even the power of all the ley lines in Teyvat. So there you go. That is my explanation on the importance of ley lines, what they mean, where they come from, and also the extremely important implications it has towards Dainsleif, who in my opinion is really one of the most important characters in the game when it comes to lore. And I'm going to make a video dedicated to him in the future, but he really does basically know everything in the game and could clear up so many different lore discrepancies, and when he comes out, it's going to change everything. But I'm going to take this time again to sponsor my Discord. If you are interested in lore discussions or you want to have one of your ideas potentially created in the future, go ahead and join the Discord and post a message there. I read it very often, and I am more than happy to communicate with all of you guys. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.